So as mentioned in the last video, I want to start working on this stocks component and the individual stocks. So I'll head over to the stocks.view file where right now we only got this template, and I'm going to replace this with a div. Now in this div, what I want to do is I kind of want to loop through all my individual stocks and then simply output them here and let Bootstrap handle the place them in a grid problematic. So therefore, what I want to do here first is I want to set up some dummy stocks just so that we can see something. We will soon change this and manage our state differently. So first of all, I'll export a default object in here. And in this object, I'll have my data function to return an array of stocks. And again, that's just some dummy data we'll replace soon. Whoops, that's of course not the right setup. That should be a colon, like this. So how is a stock defined in this application? Well, I want to have an ID for each stock. I want to have a name, BMW maybe, and then a price, let's say 110. And then I'm going to repeat this to also get other stocks with unique IDs that will make it easier to manage them. With Google, let's say, and let's give it a price of 200. Yes, I know that's too low, but just so that we are actually able to buy some of them. Apple, let's say 250, and Twitter, well, that can't be much, right? So let's say 8. So these are the stocks I want to use. And with these stocks, I now want to loop through them and create as many stock components as needed. So with that, let's work on a stock component next because it seems to be the more interesting one. I want to start with the layout here. So first, how should this generally look like? Well, as I said, I want to have some boxes which are then distributed across the page by Bootstrap. So we'll certainly wrap the stock in its own column class, and I'll name it col sm6 col md4 maybe, so that we can fit 3 stock boxes next to each other on a medium-sized screen, 2 of them on a small screen, and so on. In there, I want to use a div or create a div which uses the panel class and also the panel success class. This will give it this green panel-like look Bootstrap offers me. Just to let you know what I'm talking about, if you go on the Bootstrap page, under components here, you also get these panels, and that's how a panel looks like. And there you got different panels. And I want to use this green one here to hold my stock data. So that is the enclosing div I'm going to use. Now in this div, of course, we need a panel heading. This again is a Bootstrap class to give it some nice heading style. And there I want to have a h3 tag, which will give a class of panel title. And again, these are all Bootstrap classes to make it look nice. And here we want to output the stock name. Will soon be replaced. For now, I'll keep it like this. And also inside of this h3 tag, I'll use another feature Bootstrap offers me. I can not only output my name here, I can also add small and then some extra data, which will be fit nicely into the title by Bootstrap. So here we'll set the price, which with a placeholder right now, and then looks good. So this is my panel heading. Now after the panel heading, I want to have my panel body, which holds the content. Now the content are now 2 divs basically, one with the input form and one with the buy button. Therefore, I'll have a div with the class pull left. This is a Bootstrap class to make it float on the left, to pull it on the left side. And in there, I simply want to have my input field, which is of type, well, we can make it of type number actually. I will still implement a check to make sure we do have a number, a valid number in there. So type number, and then I'll give it a class of form control, Bootstrap class of course. Then I'll give it a placeholder of quantity so that the user actually knows what we want to see here. And that's it for now. Of course, we'll revisit this later on. Then it's time to add another div with the class pull right for this buy button. So there I want to have a button which says buy. Though we'll also work on this caption of the button because I want to say insufficient funds if we want to buy something we can't afford. So on this button, I'll now add a class, which is button and then button success, because we want to have a green button, let's say, always makes buying easier. And that's it for now. So this is this button and this input field. With that, we got our template for this stock setup. Now, before we fill it with some life, let's see if this works as intended by going back to the stocks.view file here. And here I now want to first import this stock. So import stock from, well, and then from the stock.view file. And of course, I also want to register it. And I'm going to register this as a local component here too. Again, because I'm only using it in this component. If I were to use it somewhere else, this of course would be a great global component. So app stock is a stock here. And then I want to have my stock and use v4 on it to loop through all my stocks. Now, when looping through all the stocks here, I will say stock in stocks, referring to my stocks array down there. And that's it for now. We don't pass data right now. We'll do this soon. For now, I only want to see if this works. So let's head over to the application. And this looks pretty good. We got 4 boxes, which makes sense because we got 4 stock items. We don't see the data in there, of course, because we don't pass it right now. So let's work on setting up this communication and passing the data down next.